Okay, everybody, and welcome. We're going to talk about how to make a short video using AI. Now, first, let's start by looking at a previous end result. Hopefully, I can actually do better than this, but this is what I got after a few hours of work. So we have subtitles, we have video, we have unique music, characters, and sort of a general motion sense going through here. And there it is, our ending of the video. So that's our general idea. So what we want to do is, first thing we need is a basic idea. Ideally, your idea for the video should have characters that keep going, changing all the time, places changing all the time, and that's because showing the same character more than once in a video is difficult. So what we're going to do now, however, I have an idea that we do need to show one person several times. So we'll see how that works. It's a bit of an experiment for me too. Now I've written a basic idea into Gemini. Doesn't matter which AI you use. And in Gemini, we're going to take all of these basic thoughts. First, we need an outline for a 6-scene video. AI video clips work better when they're short. We're aiming at 3-second clips, and we're going to stick together 10 of them to make a 30-second video. Now, this video is going to be about how penicillin was invented. Penicillin is one famous medicine. I think you'll understand better at the end of this. The whole video is going to be about 30 seconds long, and it's going to be stuck together from these 3 to 5-second clips. Clips should have subtitles, but not dialogue. Because, again, characters talking in AI videos isn't that good. Each character and environment needs a separate, heavily detailed description. You want more words and more description. But the overall vibe needs a tight, unified description to be added to all image and video generations based on the look of Genshin Impact. Now, I just kind of randomly decided on this as something you would know and I have some idea about. Let's do a question and answer session to nail scenes, description, specifics. Very important. Tell the AI to ask you more questions. The more questions it asks, the better it's going to work. Now, 2 things you need to add here. First, you need to turn on Canvas. Canvas is where it's going to write its answer, and you can copy from that each time. Second, you want to use a stronger model. Here, I'm suggesting thinking. Pro is fine too, but this is fairly complicated. You're going to want it to think a little harder about its answers. So I hit submit, and pretty quickly the canvas will pop in. It's thinking and thinking. There it is. Okay, Q&A session first. Okay, first. Okay, Alexander Fleming in a cluttered, dusty laboratory. Sure. Fleming leaving for vacation, leaving a window open, dishes out. 3, Fleming discovering the penicillin mold killing the bacteria. Good. Refinement, Flory and Chain working in an Oxford lab setup. And 5, a miracle, like a soldier, receiving the dose and recovering. And 6, a wide shot of the global impact medical revolution. Okay, so first question, how fantasy? Steampunk or fantasy? Okay, 1, steampunk. Okay, no, let me see. And now I changed my mind. Let's do realistic, but in their animation style. Okay, 2, lab setting. Historical or fake? Let's go with historical. Okay, next, 3. Let's go a little crazier here. Pulsing. we want it to look quite magical and stuff. Sorry, subtitle tone. Should the subtitles be historical and factual? Okay. I definitely want factual. I found its writing for more descriptive stuff to be very stupid. Unified vibe. Uh, so I want lighting similar to the steampunk parts of the game. Okay, so now I've got this. Answers to the questions. You really, if anything you learn from this, tell the AI to ask you more questions. Okay, so now we have the whole outline. Okay, now here's a super important thing. Format 30-second, 30 scene. Okay, now here's the most important thing you want to do. This is the visual style. You want this to go on every single prompt. So you copy it. Oh yeah, and we want to add one more very important thing. What shape the video should be. Now in this case, my primary thing is for you guys to see it. Now the projectors in our classrooms are 4:3 landscape. That means there's, for every 4 across, there are 3 up. So I'm going to add this right here. And I'm going to stick this on the end of every single prompt. Okay? So I'm copying this. I keep getting the same thing. We got a character. And then on this, we're going to just slap this down. That's that 4:3 landscape. 4:3 landscape. 4:3 landscape. I just realized I misspelled landscape, but the AI can fix my stupidity, I believe. And we're just splatting along here. Okay. So every single section here, we're doing like that. Now, I don't have a ton of time to read here since we're busy making a video. I'm just going to slap right in here. So we're done. We have an outline. We're not going to think about it too hard. And what we're going to do is, you know what? I'm going to stretch this partly just so that I can work on this a little more easily. Okay, for every section, we're going to do this, and we're going to go to meta.ai. Now, meta.ai is part of Facebook, Instagram. You need an account, of course. So first things first, it's very easy to make a mistake and not hit create image. It will make an image, but then it becomes more difficult to work with it later. So what we're going to do is we're going to add in that first prompt, and this is to describe the scientist Alexander Fleming we're working with. We're going to need a few here. Now, there are other ways to make these pictures. In truth, it doesn't really matter which system you use, whether it's Midjourney or Google, Banana, or what have you. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a few different ones here, and we're going through all of them. Where the heck is this? Okay, 2. And, okay. So here we have Alexander Fleming in Genshin Impact style. Okay, this is fine, I think. This is my favorite because of the light here, but later you may want to work with all of these. Okay, I'm going to download this first. And one problem, okay, and it has downloaded here. That's very important because it doesn't always work. But I'm also going to copy the image, and you'll see why in a moment. Or maybe won't, because I'm going to do all of these first. Okay. And now we're going to do another one. Okay. Generally, you always want to start a new chat. It's okay. And here we go again. And I'm going to let that work while I get the next section. And here we have all of those, but I'm just going to slap in the next one right here. Wow. Okay. I don't know what these people look like. Here's the thing. Okay, so here we have Florian Chain. That's these guys. And you can kind of decide which ones you want to work with. I like this one for the color contrast. Here we have our soldier. We want to look World War II-ish. I'm going to go with this one later, but we can work on that at the moment. Okay, now we're doing environments. Okay. So here we're going here, environments. We're going to cancel we're going to crop back out of here, new chat. We're doing environments. Now, there's a lot we can do with this one. We're going to create image first, but from here, we're actually going to go. Okay, and go. So this is the St. Mary's Lab, the place where this was set up. High fidelity, cel shaded anime. Now, once we're in here, we've got way. I got to tell you, Facebook is not perfect, okay? Not at all perfect. Okay, let's go into this one. We're going to talk about animation. Okay, so animate, we were going to get it started moving. Have the camera move to the left, to the, no, right, and slowly turn left and zoom on the microscope. Okay. Okay. So while we're doing that, we can, oops, look at that. Scene breakdown. We got the thing. Okay. And let's take a look. Do we have our video yet? Huh? What the heck? Okay. Let's add. So now we want to go back to Alexander Fleming here. That's our first character. A little more shadowy. This one I thought was my favorite. I'm going to copy this, go back here. Say, okay, I wonder if I can do that from here. No, I cannot. Oops, cancel. Can't do it. What? All right. I've come to a problem and I'm not sure how to deal with it. Let's go. I added an apple, a heart, another heart. Okay, this is ridiculous, but let's not worry too much about that. Let's go back to, okay. Um, okay, so here I've got the picture, add Fleming to the image, looking at the microscope, and let's go with first. Let's see if we can get that into here. No, copy. Okay, good. Okay, so we're adding Fleming to the lab scene, compositing man. That's the word for like putting one picture into another picture. And this should not take terribly long, but let's see what happens. So, Meta.ai is pretty fast, but not as fast as I would like. So we're looking ahead. Alexander Fleming adjusts a brass microscope. Okay, and sure. Want me to have him looking through the microscope. And you are going to need to like put things around. You're going to need to change things as you see little problems, like he's supposed to be looking through the microscope. So he should. Okay, that didn't work. And this is one of those extremely annoying things that will happen. Another thing you're going to have is when it's in this mode where it's talking to you, you very often have trouble. So let's go to a new chat. And in that new chat, we want to go to create video. We're going to paste in the picture. Pick up a slide from the microscope. Okay. Huh? No. Huh? Of him. I want a video of him reaching for the microscope. Let's see how that works. And okay. So now it's imagining. Video generation takes a little while. Notice in this case, this video is not terrible, but it's a little weird because he starts talking about nothing. Blah, 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 blah. But there's no words, like we haven't put in any words. But these are fine. Usually, the ending, we're just going to cut it off. Now, in this case, downloading can be an issue. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. Here's a great example. Oh, it did work. Takes a few seconds, but if it doesn't download, don't panic. Just hit refresh and try it again. Okay, so we have our first little video section here. Let's try one more. Okay. So here what we want to do is go back and say, okay, out, new chat, okay. So we want to add both this and this. Okay. So what I want is mostly just the guy from the back. So I'm saying over the shoulder, looks at and down at a stack of messy Petri dishes. Okay. Now, remember, anytime we want to do this, we want this. We need this section for any time we're starting over because we're telling it to forget everything. So, okay. So we're going here. Always go create image so that we have better tools. It will make a picture even if you don't say that. But the tools around it are much worse, and it can be impossible to download the darn video, which is incredibly annoying. Okay, here we go. Oh no. Okay. Let's say, okay. Let's start closer in. Okay, well, let's see what's happening. It's going in. Yeah. Well, let's take a look. Okay. That doesn't look much like Petri dishes, so let's go on. Wait, what the heck? In this case, I think I'm going to go back and portrait. Let's start with like this. You want to copy it, and then we're going to go back out. Go to our first one, Fleming's Petri dishes. Change the character to be this guy. So now we have that same portrait. We got this, boom. Editing character to match reference. And so this is working pretty well. Now, new. A white jacket. And white hair. Okay. Now, we changed the lighting to be more similar, but we didn't do the yes. Regenerate from scratch. So, and this happens a lot. You're just going to need to be like, oh, that didn't freaking work. Let's try again. All right, so now we're looking here. This looks like jewels or something, so that's a failure. I'd say this is probably the best one. So, okay, we're going to go from here, scrolling down. We want to do animate. And yeah, you know what? I'm not even going to think very hard about this. Just do it freaking magical style. And now we wait. Do, 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 do. So, that is the first of 6 things. This is the St. Mary's lad scene. So the lab, the thing. And then we're going to be doing these things. So again, in this case, you'd want to show the lab picture and Fleming, and then tell it, have Fleming leaving this location, walking away. And then close up of the window in this location as a stray spore drifts in and lands on the Petri dish. Like that. Okay, so now we're back. We have the video. Okay, this video is really weird, but honestly, there are just cases where you're like, wait, what is going on here? Okay, so here we have the video, and you should be able to download it, but I have had trouble with this. Let's see. This is the round where I would generally have trouble. It would work for the first couple of times, and then it doesn't. Notice, here we go. Press the button. Here's where it should appear. It doesn't. And you could look here and see that there's no 7 minutes ago. It hasn't happened. So you just hit refresh. And then download. And now it worked. So now we have these 2 videos here. Now, we should be doing 10 to do the whole thing, but I don't have time for that. So what I want to show you is the music approach and the approach for editing. So let's get started with those. So for music, I'm not interested in meta.ai. Let's start with Gemini. I actually want to do 2 things with Gemini. First, I want to say, what kind of music do inventors and scientists have in Genshin Impact? Okay. So what I'm asking, something that matches the vibe that I'm trying to build together here. This is going to be a very short video. But you're like, okay, I'm trying to make it look a bit like Genshin Impact. Okay, brass and iron. Great. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. And so I've got this. More about theoretical. Fontaine, Sumero, and biology. So we want biology. Okay. So I'm going to go like this, and then, again, I know nothing about Genshin Impact, and we're starting a new chat. Always begin new chats, folks. So what I'm going to do here is a new chat, and in new chat, I'm going to hit create music. Now you should have this. I'm going to go like this, right? I'm just copying this in. I'm saying, what is their music like? And, okay. Okay. Let's see. So I'm just going to hit there and see what we get. This is quite different from image generation. You have far less control. As with anything with AI, you really have to spend a little time to describe what you want. Defining intent. And maybe I should have said that. This is a theme for a short educational video. No vocals, no anything like that. I did try this, and I did have one little issue where I tried to change my previous prompt, and it didn't really work very well. It kind of had to begin again from the beginning. Defining the intent. Well, this is taking a little while. Let's get into I'm going to get back to here. We're going to go to projects, create a new project, new movie. It's going to be very short. And we're going to start adding the videos we have already. So here we have 2 videos. We're going to dump these into here. And you just like slap these on, right? Just like this. So here we have just a few seconds. Now notice how he starts like blah, 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 blahing here. And we're just going to go right back to here. Most videos have trimming tool, right? And then the blabbing doesn't happen. And then we're going to go here. And notice here it starts, what the heck is that? They're supposed to be made of glass. That's impossible. It's very common, I find, for the video to just turn weird. So here we have 5 seconds total. We can go here. Wait, what? Uh-oh. We have a problem here as well. So we're going to and shrink this down. And here, there is some slight mouth movements, but okay. Okay, let's try the music section. Okay, this music, realistically, I would try again. I hate this. I hate it. But we're downloading it anyways because I'm in a hurry and I want to finish this section. Okay, but rest assured, I don't think that song is good enough. But it is good enough to demonstrate how adding that works. So I downloaded the song. I just dragged and dropped it in. And now I'm going to, this is like a 3-minute long song, which I hate. Perfect. Okay. Good enough. Although the video for that seems a little strange too, but at that point, I'm not going to worry about it. Now, we need subtitles. If we look here, we can see subtitles are this. So let's copy this. Okay? We're going to look at a bunch of different subtitles for the bottom third type. The current third, slide lower third. You know what? Let's just do this. We slide this down to here. Now, okay, so there we have our first scene of 5. Then repeat, going through all of the different sections that you need. So once you've done this in iMovie, you would export like this. Generally hit export file, 8 megabytes, resolution 720, quality high, compress faster, and hit next. I guess give it a name, Fleming. Penicillin. But yes, this is the general way to do all of these things. Yeah. And now I think it's time to move forward.